Call to order and approval of the minutes of June 22nd and July 13th, 2021. I don't believe we have any A&Rs?
No.
Okay, at 6:35, we'll have a continuation of the public hearing and special permit for 178 Main Street, Dragonfly Ibis Sturbridge LLC. The applicant requests a special permit to allow a reduction in the required off-street parking to satisfy the town's parking requirements in regard to the proposed redevelopment of 3 new tenant retail spaces within the commercial unit formerly occupied by J.C. Penney's. Additionally, the applicant proposes the replacement of the existing monument sign at the plaza main entry. At 7 o'clock, we'll have a waiver of site plan request for 365 Main Street for Ricos Market. The applicant requests a waiver of site plan for the installation of a cooler unit. We'll discuss the CMRPC representative and alternate for the CPC designee. After that, we'll have town planner update, old business, new business, and then adjournment. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes of June 22nd? Are there any questions, comments? If not, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
I have one
correction. Sure, go ahead. Okay.
on page 5. It's just grammatical. The 5th line down, R. Barnes stated that he, not him. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, so you'll accept that with the, and so Jeff, and then we have a second?
Second?
Sue, all in favor? Opposed, no one? Very good,
And for the record, I abstained because I was absent.
very good. Okay, now we have the minutes of the July 13th meeting. Any comments, questions?
The only thing I wanted to add is the last item that we started talking about, that landscape operations at, I forget the street address. I don't know if I have any concerns about it, to use that word, but I agree it wasn't part of what they came in for, but.
Okay, do you want to add
I
something
read that.
somewhere?
It jumped
or-
out at the last line. It said that the planning board had, quote, concerns regarding it. I don't know that I'm concerned about it per se, but
Okay, do you want to, what page is it on?
it's on page 3, about 29 Brookfield Road.
Could I
Gene,
suggest?
I'm kind of splitting hairs here, but
Yeah, could I just suggest changing it to J. Boubon stated that she will let the building inspector know that there appears to be a new operation
I think
and to report
that's
back.
perfect. Thank you.
Very good. So do we have a motion to accept it with that revision?
So moved.
All right, second? Second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no one? And you'll abstain?
Abstain.
Very good. Okay, we'll now have the continuation of the public hearing. Jean, do you want to introduce it?
Yes. So this evening, we have representatives of Dragonfly Sturbridge LLC. John Strolka is the owner of the property, and with him this evening are Michael Yentl and Lisa Wan from Kimley Horn. They're his consulting engineers. And joining us remotely is Michael Connor, and I'm not sure if he's owner or...
It's with Kimley Horn.
He's with Kimley Horn as well. And so they're here this evening to request a special permit for a reduction in the amount of required parking for the existing plaza. As you know, they're proposing to convert the 52,500 square foot J.C. Penney location into 3 units. One will be occupied by Planet Fitness, and the other 2 will be retail tenants that are yet unknown at this time. So in accordance with the bylaws, Chapter 21, Section 2112, the planning board can grant a special permit for reduction in parking when the applicant can demonstrate that the parking that exists on site will be adequate to serve the peak needs for all of the uses combined. So Mr. Strolka has contracted with Kimley Horn to perform the necessary studies. Those studies have been put into your packet, I believe 2 meetings ago. And based on their analysis, it does appear that there is sufficient parking on site, and they will go through that in more detail, but as an overview. And it has been reviewed by staff, chief of police, myself, fire, building, all of the other departments. We actually have no concerns with the request after reviewing the materials submitted. So we are recommending approval of that special permit. And also this evening, they're requesting a special permit for a new multi-tenant sign out at the start of the property, beginning of the property, and you're all familiar with that sign. It's pretty small. barely accommodates the tenants that are in there now, and with 3 in the place of 1, there's really the need for some more space. So again, staff has no concerns with that request, and we would recommend approval. So with that, I'll turn it over to the applicant to go through their presentation and their study.
Sure. Thank you, everybody, for your time tonight. Appreciate everybody coming out, especially late summer. We are the owners of the Sturbridge Plaza property. Currently, we've had the property for about 3 years. We are long-term holders of real estate. We invest in every project that we have on the capital side, and we love Sturbridge, and we like working and leasing spaces to the tenants. Currently, we are in the process of negotiating 3 replacement tenants for the JCPenney space, one of which will be a fitness center, as Jean pointed out, and we are working within parameters which we've often seen in a number of jurisdictions where, parking code, it's based on some antiquated calculations. So we've been through this situation before, and we've consulted with Kimley Horn, who could provide a little bit more detail than I can on specific questions on the parking study. But specifically, we've used ULI's parking calculations and peak parameters to determine that, the 638 parking spaces available for the center are in excess of what's really required in reality. The history of the shopping center is that where the Ocean State job lots, the Tractor Supply, and the TD Bank was, that was an Ames department store, if I'm sure the staff here recalls that, and there was Shaw's, and their prior grocer in there was operating since the late 70s. The JCPenney operated since the late 70s there as well, since the property was developed. In terms of parking intensive uses, when the Ames was redeveloped, it was redeveloped similarly to this into 3 separate tenants. And also, we lost parking because of the Tractor Supply outdoor area. However, we feel that based on the usage and the calculations provided by ULI, which is a much more reliable source and really industry standard in today's day and age for shared parking and what I guess we would call here suburban uses, where we assume that there are multiple visits to stores or service providers, that we feel that this is really the best way to go about, and we don't. And the other facet of what we approach here too is our tenants would not be interested in this space if there was not adequate parking, and they are all supportive of that. We're at the LOI stage, letter of intent stage, with 3 national tenants and potentially a local tenant that will be relocating here. So with that said, I could let Lisa handle any parking questions. As it relates to the sign, the existing monument sign at the property is completely inadequate. It really does not match comparable, Class A or Class B shopping centers, like the center at Hobbs Creek, which has a sign probably close to what we are proposing in terms of size, maybe even bigger. This situation will actually, I think, create it will actually alleviate maybe a safety issue where the tenants will have easily identifiable signs, and it makes motorists that are passing by realize it and turn in sooner, or know to turn in. Additionally, we think it'll beautify the space. We will match the facade of the rest of the center, they will be in color as well, these signs, which is a big step up from the black and white signage, which is kind of dull and bland, honestly. As part of that, we do have an elevation here. I know this is not the architectural review board, and I apologize, we don't have our color elevations with us, but the JCPenney facade is very much outdated. What we're proposing is something new to match the Shaw's facade and the Walgreens facade, which we replaced recently with the white trim and borders, the Hardy board. We will keep some of the brick elements there, but it will have new vibrant colors and signage there. We obviously are not presenting an elevation or anything to the architectural review board here because we're not prepared yet to to finalize our leases with our tenants until we get past the parking situation. But that's what we're proposing for this center. So it's a very substantial capital improvement to the property, and we feel that this is something that will be really beneficial to the town of Sturbridge in the long haul, serving the residents. So if there's any specific questions regarding the parking calculations, I'm happy to explain, but Lisa's probably more qualified than I am.
Very good. Do you have anything else to add on that, or?
No, I think the only thing that I forgot to mention to you was we have not been to the design review board yet with the sign design. That will occur after the meeting because we're hoping that if the parking special permit gets granted, they'll be able to sign leases with tenants, and then we'll all be able to know who they are, and all of that can go to design review.
Great, very good. Okay, Jeff, do you have any questions or comments?
I have no questions.
Dane?
My only comment was, I think Kimley Horn, and it seems like, Lisa, it was you, your traffic memo was awesome. I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, but I enjoyed reading it. I thought it was very well laid out. I kind of thought the 30% coincidental number for bank traffic seemed a little high, but overall, I feel like that plaza definitely has more than enough adequate parking, so I have no concerns.
Very good, thank you, Dane. Sue?
Yeah, I have no concerns either.
That's it. Paul?
No, none at all.
Okay, I have none either. Do we want to see if anyone in the public has anything to say
Yes.
about this? And anyone here in the audience has any comments?
Is there anyone on the line that would like to speak regarding the public hearing for Dragonfly Sturbridge LLC for the property located at 178 Main Street? No one's on the line.
Okay, great. Why don't we make a motion then first for the special permit? The motion,
I don't know if anyone's in the audience.
oh, I thought I asked. Did anyone here have any comments?
No? Okay, sorry.
No, no
I
problem.
can't see who's in the audience
That's all
this
right.
way.
So the motion would be to approve the special permit for a reduction in parking to allow the former J.C. Penney retail space to be divided into 2 retail spaces and 1 fitness center as proposed, utilizing the existing parking lot. Dane, any second? Wally? Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no one? Very good. Okay, next on the multi-tenant sign. Jean, do you have anything you want to add to that, or you're all?
No, I would support the sign request. I feel it's very consistent with other special permit requests that we've had recently, and I think the number of tenants certainly warrants some better, larger, more visible signage. I think it's just very difficult to read what's there now.
It
so.
is, yeah. Okay, great.
And
That's a
so,
public hearing too, or is it, or? we have to-
it is the public
Okay.
hearing, yes.
Does anyone have any comments or questions on that? No? Thank you, Sue?
I have a question about the potential 2 realtors that will be coming in. Who might they be?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question? The potential who?
2 other retailers that would join?
It's most likely going to be soft goods national retailers, and it's really way too early to get to that juncture, but there are names that you would recognize. So mostly going to be retail discount retailers or service providers. We are working with a local operator who has a large music store that's relocating, and the other 2 are, one is auto-related, the other one is soft goods related. Planet Fitness is, that's a thinly disguised rumor, but it's true, but, it's still way too early to commit to the tenants that we're going to be putting in there.
Just a question. Have you
Yes.
taken comments from the residents of Sturbridge?
Absolutely.
Have
Yeah,
you?
absolutely. We've gotten numerous calls and also numerous comments. And the reality is, we would love to, I think we've had comments regarding, getting more restaurants into Sturbridge. And while we would love to do that, there are many complications related to that, specifically let's start with parking, which would be much worse. And second would be, having adequate facilities to support a restaurant, like grease traps and things of that nature. So what we've looked at was a situation where if we could bring in a mix of national and regional tenants or even local tenants, we would love to do that, but we don't have control over who we could choose to go into the space. We have, our leasing agent is actually out in the audience. They come to us or we go to them, and we query them about things. And we've obviously had discussions with dozens of tenants. And there are, additionally, making things a little bit more complicated for retail is that a lot of tenants have restrictions. Like, we can't put a grocery store next to Shaw's, obviously, because they're not going to like that, and it's also against their lease. And so there are tenants that we would love to have at the property, but unfortunately, there are some sub-restrictions in a lot of these leases, and especially a lot of these older leases. This is a very mature property that restrict against those uses. So we need to look at this from both an economic perspective and also from an acceptable use perspective at the end of the day.
Oh, really appreciate that, and we certainly appreciate the investment you're making in the town, so that's great. Very good. So anyone in the audience that would like to have any comment about this? Is for the
sign.
sign addition here. You want to check the,
Sorry.
that's all right.
Is there anyone on the line that would like to speak regarding the sign proposed for 178 Main Street?
Okay, great. So the motion would be to grant the special permit requested by Dragonfly Ibis Sturbridge LLC to replace the existing multi-tenant sign with a new 150-square-foot multi-tenant sign as shown in the plans and specifications provided, subject to the Design Review Committee approval. Do we have a motion? Sir,
moved.
thank you.
Second?
Dane, second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed, no one? Very good. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And let's see. Now, do we have to wait for 7 o'clock or no?
Yes, he's not on the line yet. He actually
okay.
has another meeting, so
all
maybe
right.
we could do some of the other
No problem. Do you want to
items?
go through your update first?
Sure. So really, in your packet is the pilot travel quarterly report. I seem to be missing it from my packet, but it is in your packet. No concerns were noted. And then our next meeting day, after polling the members, August 10th will not work, so we'll cancel August 10th. And we will have a meeting on August 24th.
24.
And we will have a public hearing for Lucky Mart. They filed Friday, so we're able to get it into the paper today, just in the nick of time.
Good.
To be on the August 24th meeting. So we'll be holding a public hearing to finally allow them to reinstall their canopy and their pump islands after having to remove the underground storage tanks. And they have also applied to design review. They'll be going to design review this coming Monday. So that is good news.
Yeah.
And that is all I have, other than we still have a little bit of time before Mike gets on the line, maybe talking about the CMRPC
Right, I think that would be good.
representatives.
Representative and alternate.
Yeah, I was hopeful that Chris and Mike would be here.
We're trying to get them in, or what are we? Is that?
Well, yeah, just to fill us in a little bit more
Yeah.
about this. My CPC term ended in June.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to be a new father this fall.
Great.
Oh,
Great.
congratulations.
I want to
Congratulations.
get that on the record.
Yes, good for you.
And actually, I have another personal thing going on for about 3 months in the winter time into the springtime. So I prefer to not re-up on the CPC. I can certainly act as primary on the quarterly meeting. And then if something comes up down the line,
That'd be
The
great.
quarterly meeting being.
For the
For
CMRPC.
the CMRPC.
Yeah, exactly,
Right.
exactly. I can be the primary for that, certainly.
Okay, so is anyone interested in serving on the CPC, Community Preservation Committee? Oh, that's it? Great.
That'd be fine. That's no problem.
Unless
Oh,
we-
okay.
I had a lot of fun with them. I've got a lot going on right now, so
Yeah.
I would like to in the future, but maybe we'll let Wally get his feet
That
wet.
sounds great.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, do
Thank
we
you.
need a motion, or just Wally is it?
Well, is it?
Wally went.
No, actually, we should have a motion and a vote
Do you have a
too.
motion then to have Wally be the representative of the Community Preservation Committee? Sue?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Very good.
Okay.
It was unanimous. Congratulations. Wally.
Good job.
Enjoy.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you very much.
Well, that didn't take as much time as we'd hoped.
So for CMRPC, would you like us to put that back on the agenda for the 24th?
So where do we stand with it now? Who's actually?
Well, I'll be the primary for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to, I'm fine with doing that.
Oh, that's
Can you just give us a little bit of detail as to what is involved?
Sure, absolutely. So the representative and the alternate really are, kind of your role is to make sure that you attend the quarterly meetings and have a presence there for the town of Sturbridge so that you can report back on any topics of interest. Additionally, we receive local planning assistance hours, and I believe we get 12, each community gets 12 hours a year. However, if I attend a planners meeting and you attend a quarterly meeting, we accrue extra hours. So for instance, last Wednesday night, I believe it was, I attended a session on impacts of warehouses in the region. So we'll get an additional maybe 1 hour credit for the time that I put into that meeting. So for, the more we participate, the better. It's really important that we're active and that they know we're active because they are a very good resource to us. We can learn a lot from other communities, what's going on in other communities. For example, the Charlton warehouses that are going on right now. So really, that's really kind of what the role is.
So will you provide me with more information as events come up or as meetings?
They will, once you're designated as the representative, Janae will send your information into CMRPC, and you will be notified of all of the meetings and given an opportunity to attend. A lot of times they'll have even, in addition to the quarterly meetings, they might have a training for board members, or they have a nice annual dinner meeting in June every year. But with having the representative and the alternate, if you can't make it, then you could contact whoever the alternate might be. Maybe Dane or somebody would.
Yeah, I'd be happy to fill in as the alternate.
Great. And when do we make that transition?
Right tonight,
Right
if,
now,
if-
yeah.
if we
When is the
can
next quarterly one?
have a vote. The next quarterly will probably in September.
September, yeah. So that's good.
All right.
Great. So I have a motion then to have Jeff be the primary and Dane be the alternate representative to the CMRPC.
So moved.
Okay, second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Great, thank you.
Great, congratulations.
We will send the information in, so make sure Janae knows your preferred phone number and email address for them to contact you. And I was able to text Michael Stady, and he hopped on the meeting for us, so
Okay.
he is here.
All right, can we
So-
start that now then, or?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And
So next on the agenda is a waiver of site plan for 365 Main Street for Ricos Market. The applicant requests a waiver of site plan for the installation of a cooler unit. So,
yes.
do you need any more introduction, or should I turn it over to?
So Michael Stady is here with us this evening, and you will probably recall when we did the special permit for local routes, there was also a tenant space, and at the time, they thought maybe a fitness center or a retailer. And so the parking lot was designed to accommodate both uses. And they were fortunate to be able to attract Ricos Market to that space, and they need an outside cooler. And Michael can probably talk a little bit about Ricos Market. I think there's been so much chatter on Facebook, I think everybody knows Ricos Market, but Michael can fill you in a little bit on that. And then the cooler that they're requesting would go in the rear of the building, and it would occupy 2 of the parking spaces, and there will still be over the amount of parking that is really needed in accordance with the zoning bylaw. So we have no concerns with this request, and I would recommend approval of the waiver. And with that, Michael can give an explanation of who Dorico's is and when they plan on coming in.
Thank you. Hope everybody can hear me. I appreciate letting me do this on Zoom tonight. I couldn't make it in person. So Ricos is a market based in Worcester. They have 3 locations now, and this will be their 4th. 2 in Worcester, 1 in Leominster, and this will be their 4th. And they are targeting more of a high-end boutique type deli meats, cut meats, butcher shop, but also hoping to do wine as well eventually. And I think they're talking to the town about licenses for that. Don Mercurio is a local Sturbridge resident. Just getting to know him myself, but amazing person, incredible resume and career in retail as well as the restaurant and wine industry. And we think he's going to be a fantastic addition to our building and also the town. They need to install a 10 by 10 outdoor freezer cooler that, as Gene said, will take up 2 parking spaces. Our initial approval, we oversized our parking lot in anticipation of needing, or concerns, I should say, about parking required for the cannabis retail. While we are getting busier and busier, which is great, we still have more than ample parking. I think right now we have 43 spots. By code, Gene, I think you and I came up with 25 or 27 needed.
You'd need,
Yeah.
right, 25 would be required.
By code. So even if we lose 2 for the what will be the outdoor cooler as well as a generator to support their system in case of power failure, we'd lose 2 spots. We'd be at 41. Again, 25 required. So we feel we have more than ample parking and hope that your board will approve this so we can move forward with construction of their space.
Very good, thank you very much. Any questions, Jeff?
I have no questions.
Dane?
No.
Okay, Sue?
No questions?
Okay. Anything else to add, Jean?
No, I would just recommend that you approve the waiver of site plan to allow 365 Main Street Sturbridge LLC to install a 10 by 10 cooler and generator at the rear of the building as proposed.
Very good, thank you. Do you have a motion?
Also, I'll move.
Jeff?
Yeah.
Second?
Second?
Sue? Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no one? Very good.
All right, all set.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Thanks.
Okay, next we have, I guess, old and new business. Jeff, any old or new business?
Nothing.
Jane? Sue?
No?
Wally? I noticed a new sign at the property at Holland Road there, River Place, looking,
It's really just a real estate sign. It says
Yeah.
Riverside Field of Dreams. I think
Right,
he's
right.
thinking if you build it, they will come.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's,
but
but
it's
if,
no more permanent, definite.
no, but if you look
It
at
did
it,
say you know,
it just
lease
has space for lease,
Wow, you know.
lease or sale,
That's
yes.
neat, yeah.
He tried to like, freshen up
Oh,
the
come on,
sign.
Yeah.
After the second or third time I drove by. Okay, great. Anything else then? If not, we'll have a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Jane?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no one? Very good. Hopefully we'll get out there before the rain hits.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all
It's
good.
out there. That's what it's here.
It's pretty loud out there.
We are
Congratulations.
met.
Very nice to meet you.
When's the baby due?
Wally.
October.
Oh, October.